So Seth Moulton is one of the irrelevant centrist Democrats running for president. He's polling at about negative 12%. And he was asked about healthcare recently, and his answer certainly did not help his chances.
Well, I think too far to the left is forcing everybody onto a government system that, once you start asking, I understand that sort of like top line polling, it sounds good. As soon as I start having this conversation with voters and listening to them and what they really want, they start to realize, yeah, we could have a better system. We could have some competition in the system. Obamacare with a public option that competes against private plans would probably be better for everyone. So I just think it makes more sense, and I think that's what voters want at the end of the day. They want better healthcare. They want coverage for pre-existing conditions, but they also want an American system that makes sense.
That fake-ass smile at the end really creeped me out. Okay, he said that's what voters want, but they don't. This is empirically measured. You don't get to say that and just ignore the reality. I'm so tired of, it's one thing to disagree on the substance, but you acknowledge the facts. It's a totally separate thing and totally unacceptable to disagree on the facts. So in other words, if he said, okay, I know, Medicare for All is wildly popular, but here's why I disagree with it. That's one thing. He didn't do that. He made it seem like that's what voters want. No, you just made that up. Voters do not want Obamacare with a public option. You just made that up. There's no data, no polling anywhere that says that at all. You made it up. In fact, Obamacare polls around 50%. Sometimes it's a little over 50, sometimes it's under 50. Why? Because it's a fucking mealy-mouthed, neoliberal, technocratic tweak around the edge. It keeps the for-profit health insurance companies intact, and they're the main problem in our system. They have actual death panels. And it says, okay, you remain in control, and we'll just make some tweaks around the edges. You got to cover people with pre-existing conditions. You got to allow kids on their parents' rolls until they're 26. You got to spend a certain percentage on actual health care and not on overhead cost. We expand Medicaid a little bit. We have the individual mandate and make you, go get private health insurance. But people are paying an arm and a leg, and you still have shitty copays and deductibles and premiums, and people don't like it, bro. They don't like the system. Your minor tweaks. And by the way, when you go to the Republicans with, here's my idea, Obamacare plus a public option, you know what the Republicans are going to do? I got an idea. Go fuck yourself. How about that? Go fuck yourself. So you started the negotiation by meeting them halfway already. And their response is going to be, no. Let's go backwards. Let's get rid of all government in the healthcare system and have a totally laissez-faire, free market, unfettered system and wild, wild west and dog-eat-dog world and race to the bottom. That's their response. So if they're going to react like that, well, then why don't you say, I want an NHS here. I want public funding to public institutions. I want fully socialized medicine. And here's why I want it. It's better. It's the best. Studies show it. It's been proven. The UK system, according to some studies, is the best in the world. That's what I want. And I'm not budging. Oh, you're not going to vote for it? Fine. I'm going to hold my caucus and we're going to beat you. We're going to get a super majority. We're going to win on this message. And then we're just going to get it implemented. We don't need any of your votes. You know how many votes there were for Obamacare when it got passed? 0. So you tell the Republicans, I don't give a fuck if none of you vote for it. I'm going to fight for what I know the right position is. And then in the worst case scenario, you compromise to Medicare for all. Public funding of private institutions. So fully tax funded for private institutions. But you had to start the negotiation by saying NHS. Public funding of public institutions. He didn't do that. He's up front. He's saying, I'm going to concede, I'm going to give away, and I'm going to pretend like this is what Americans want. They do not want this, dude. 70% of the country wants Medicare for all. Even 51% of Republicans want Medicare for all. And by the way, I'm done with all these candidates who act like there aren't other developed countries in the world who have this figured out. Like, you don't get to act like, well, what we need is to improve it and get it better, and this is what voters want. No. Are you going to acknowledge that France exists and they have a system that kicks our ass? Are you going to acknowledge that Canada exists and they have a system that kicks our ass? Are you going to acknowledge that the UK exists and they have a system that kicks our ass? Are you going to acknowledge that Australia exists and they have a system that kicks our ass? Because I'm going to make you. You're going to acknowledge that. I'm tired of this American-centric bullshit of like, there's no evidence anywhere else in the world that counts and matters in our analysis. Yes, there is, and there's an argument that it's all that matters. That's it. That's all that matters, because it's the roadmap. It's been laid out for us. They act like we haven't had the experiments already with these systems implemented for decades. Go away. Go away, you fake ass, perfectly combed hair, fake ass smile, Weasley little loser who's going to get 2%. This is what you're going to run on, and you think you're going to win in goddamn 2020? I have a perfect smile, and I want to compromise on stuff. Vote for me. Do they make these fuckers in a lab or something? Because that's what it looks like. That's what it appears like. I need you to stop. I need you to stop before you give me some sort of massive health condition from simply acknowledging your existence and looking at you talk. God damn it. It gives me an aneurysm. I hate it.